I am live because I'm all on my own. Um, Today was one of those awesome days, absolutely awesome. I'll explain why. Now, the last live stream I did from here, it was the opposite way around. It started off dark and it started to get light. This one's going to go the other way this time, so we're going to start off light and it's gradually going to get darker as we go. So yeah. Oh, Clarissa's on again. Clarissa, you were on my daughter's stream this morning. So basically, Paul's on as well, great stuff. Yeah, basically today, been away with the family in Florida, been doing Disneyland, Universal Studios, and just having some quality time with the, yes, in Florida, yes, Lex, that's right. And yesterday we did Universal Studios, and that's where the thumbnail is. We went to the Simpsons section, and hi Cheryl, went to the Simpsons section, and I had the Duff beer. And luckily yesterday I wasn't driver. My father-in-law, we've got a big 7-seater, so basically we've got a 7-seater and I didn't have to drive. I had 2 Duff beers. Man, that stuff was strong. They're doing the equivalent of Oktoberfest, which is funny because my brother's actually in Oktoberfest at the moment with his mate. Now, I went to Oktoberfest with him 2 years ago. And originally with the beer fest, it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday it was meant to be, and I made it to Saturday afternoon, and this was at the beer fest, and I was bailing out, and I just went sober after that, because you're just basically drinking all day long, and beer after beer, and the beer they've got is really, really strong, so you're absolutely mangled. But this time, so I sent my brother a wee picture of this exact thumbnail, you know. I mean, I've superimposed my pus on it there, just for a bit of continuity. But I sent him a picture of that, and he was, he was giving me so much grief. He says, "I hope you're lasting longer there than you did at the beer fest." I was like, oh man. Hi, Kilted Bear. So that was yesterday, Universal Studios, and it's exactly as you'd think it'd be for those that haven't been. I mean, I'm a movie buff. Got loads of plans of what I want to do when I'm there, so going back, we've got 2 weeks worth of tickets there and 2 weeks worth of tickets at Disney, so we're just going to make the most of it. But today was one of those really awesome special days, and that's why I'm celebrating with a beer. So basically, this trip's basically for my daughter Mila. She loves, I mean, I love getting away, don't get me wrong, but she loves all things Disney, and she particularly loves Frozen. And today we planned it that we were going to go and see Elsa and Anna, and we looked up where you'd have to go when you get here, because there's different parks with Disney, and sometimes you can book fast track and all this bits and pieces, but basically worked out that she was in the Epcot park, and you go to the Norway section, and I won't bore you too much. When we got there, oh god, her face lit up. There wasn't much of a queue, 15 minutes tops, and she met Anna. She was actually, yes, still Florida, yep. She was nervous at first, and she went in, but she warmed up with Anna, and there was Anna in one section. You could see Elsa in the same section. And she warmed up with Anna, and I think she thinks they're real, like real. So she's chatting away to him, and she keeps wearing these. We put these sparkly gems on the fronts of our shoes, and they're quite unique because we basically customise them ourselves. My wife's good at that kind of thing, and so all the Disney princesses are admiring our shoes, and she's loving it. And then by the time she got to Elsa, oh, she was dancing for her, giving her hugs, and her wee face lit up, and you know, it just kind of got me thinking. You know, this is why you work so hard. There's certain, throughout my teens and into 20s, I did a lot of things for myself, and on reflection it was great. I was at that time in my life when I was like, you know, it was all about me, whereas since I've hit my 30s it's all about my girls, so it made it so much worth it. Seeing her face light up like that, I was like, oh man, that's exactly what this trip was for. It was, you know, I nearly brought a tear to my eye. We came out of there, and luckily we'd fast-tracked this other ride. Oh, cheers to you, Joy. There's been loads of other comments I'm trying to keep up. Yeah, we went on this ride afterwards, and she was just, her face just lit up. And anyway, we went into the gift shop, and I hadn't planned to spend too much money, but our birthday is coming up, and I spent a lot of money in Universal on her, and then we just saw that Elsa and Anna dolls are in there. And the minute I saw them in the shop, because she just met them, her face lit up, I was like, you're getting those, darling. So I've got them. They're still in the boxes. I've technically got to make her wait until her birthday's on the 16th. We'll maybe give her them the 15th, but yeah, it just made it worth it. Absolutely worth it. There was a quote that I heard, and I think I'm going to convince Stephen. I won't take too much convincing, he's usually on board with these things, but there's a quote that I heard just recently, and it was, it goes something along the line, I better get this right, it's written down on my phone, and I'm using it as a camera, so it is, the place that you are is the place you want to be. And it basically along the lines of is, don't always be, I mean, it's good to have dreams, it's good to want to be someone else, but sometimes people get too caught up in trying to be somewhere else, when really where you are right now is the place you want to be, or the place you need to be. Maybe that's what it is. I'll find out what the quote is, it sounds better, but in essence it's about enjoying the moment, living in the moment, appreciating the moment, not, because sometimes people are looking too far ahead that they don't appreciate what's right now. So yeah, probably going to do a mindset on that. Oh yeah, so glad for Boss Meal, Angela, she's absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it. And Neil, if he pops on this stream, I know Neil had recommended this tomato salad buffet style fast food sort of place. A few people have recommended that now, and I was like, Neil said it first, Neil said it first. So we're going to try and find one of these places, because they all say the same thing, is that when you've been eating rubbish, all the kind of salts and other nonsense they put in these foods here, it's nice to get a good massive plate of salad. And apparently you can get the salad and then add in nice baked potatoes, so it's on the to-do list, certainly on the to-do list. Now just quickly, we've got 37 people on and only 2 likes, so can everyone go likey, as this place gets slowly darker. Sweet tomatoes, that's it, Paul, yeah. So our man Neil mentioned it first. Casey, not been to Arby's yet, but this weekend we're going to take a wee break from the parks. We're at Disney on Wednesday, Universal yesterday, Disney again today. Are you sweating your balls off? You'd better believe it, Danny. Absolutely better. Thing is, I was carrying my youngest daughter around in like a baby carrier. Man, you get so hot doing that. And I'm going to the shade because I can't have her in the sun too long, but yeah, it's pretty warm. Seen any alligators? Frank, it's funny you should say that, because I've actually made it a mission of mine to see an alligator. And when I was at Disney, there was a lake, and it did have a sign, but what scared me the most was it said, beware, there's alligators and snakes. And I really don't like snakes. Like if I see an alligator, I'll be like, that's cool. Cool, not that I want to touch it or wrestle with it or, you know, high five. But if there's snakes, I'm not a fan of snakes at all. You remember from the other day, yeah, well remember them. My friend's just got a cat and they named it Quincy. Happy days, happy days. And someone said earlier on the stream there's a place nearby called Quincy. Yeah, we'll need to go and check that out. And Mila's starting to pull Quincy. She thinks it's funny. She grabs it, and I'm like, not my Quincy, so she grabs it more. So yeah, all good. So we're just back. It's a long day of walking. Very hot weather. You're just constantly trying to get fluids in if you can. It's just quality time with the family, really. I want to grab Quincy. You're lucky it hasn't been so humid. Well, apparently somebody said to us that it's really, really hot here for, it's not normally this warm, because other people have been here at the same time of year and said it's not normally as hot as this, so I don't know. My wife's, or a friend of my wife who works on Disney had said, yeah, it's been quite hot here recently, so just grin and bear it. I'm going to end up with like proper vest lines, brings out the vest in me. Haven't burnt yet, I don't really burn that much, no. I should burn it in the summer sun in Scotland this year, but not in Florida. Must be staying out of it deliberately. Well, it is October, Frank, yep. So this will be a different live stream when you think about it, because normally it would be what's that, 20 to 8, so is that 20 to 2 in the morning in Scotland? In fact, I'll tell you, because I've got my watch on Scotland time. No, 20 to 1 in Scotland. Yeah, 20 to 1 in Scotland, so normally it would be, how many steps are you averaging this weekend? So far, Angela, my wife's got an Apple Watch, and she reckons we're getting about between 16 and 20,000, depending. Are you used to the time change? Oh, Sarah, you're on. Now, Sarah, I did eventually get your Facebook message. I've actually taken Messenger off my phone. It's quite nice to just attach myself in Facebook Messenger. I got your message, I got Cheryl's message. Yes, got used to it now. I think the girls the first couple of days were struggling a little bit. I think they're more used to it now. I would like, Going home is going to be a bit tricky. I'll need to try and, well, I would say sleep on the plane. Now, if I was travelling by myself, then that would be easy peasy. But when you've got the young girls, you've got to try and keep them occupied. Well, and if they sleep, I'll be able to sleep. But if not, we'll just have to pull an all-nighter. And if I do that, I arrive home in Scotland at like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, so I'll just have to chew some coffee beans and soldier on, and just get it done basically. And we're still only up to 11 likes with 38 people on, so if everyone can go and like it and do me a favour, because I've had an awesome day, so let's make it even more awesome. Do you plan on going to the Medieval Times Dinner Theatre in Kissimmee, Florida? Now, Kissimmee, I'll probably say that wrong, is not far from here actually. I think we just stopped at a thingy. So Chris, yeah, what did you say that was? Did you say the Medieval Times Dinner Theatre? Is that the place? Do you remember the, Chris, what's the movie? Is it Cable Guy? Chris, are you talking about in Cable Guy, remember Red Knight's going down, 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 down. Is that like when they have like the jousting and everything while you have your dinner? Is that the same kind of thing? Cable Guy. So is that the same place, Alison? Is this kind of thing? Medieval Times is great. Oh man, that'd be right on my street actually. I love a bit of medieval jousting and sword fighting and all that. Yes. Well, I'll need to go and check it out because that's not far. In fact, I'm sure we just went to a Walmart near there. You pick a side. Or the side picks you. Maybe that's what it is. Your daughter would like it. I'll get my armour on. And I'm actually quite handy with a sword, to be fair. I've got my skills. It's very close. Oh, happy days. So I was all proud tonight. On the route home, stopped at Walmart near that Kissimmee, I think it's called, and I managed to find my way all the way back to the villa without even using Google. So I was like, woohoo, life goals. So that was good. And getting used to the driving now, slowly, very, very slowly. It's weird, the right turns, the sharp right turns is like, Angela, sword fighting, that means something else here, Angela. A sword fight is something guys do in the bathroom, the urinal, you know. What was Chris saying? Sorry. You have to eat with your hands when you eat. So like proper old and grubby. Happy days. Wellington Perrier drunk. No, this is just the one beer. I'm literally not long in actually. Medieval Times Kilted. Well, that would give me extra strength and nobody'd stand a chance, Dale. So I'll maybe give them a chance. Do you miss Coach Stephen? I haven't even given him a second thought, to be honest. I'm just messing with you. No, actually, you brought a wee tear to my eye actually, because I've been deliberately just detaching myself and making sure everything I do is just fun. Not that coaching stuff isn't fun, but between things like replying to comments and stuff, there's a lot of work that goes into what we do, and it's hard to stay on top of it. But I did actually have a wee glance at Facebook, and hey Daniel, I did have a wee glance at Facebook, and bless him, he's done a wee sort of competition, and it's funny because like we always like when the channel's growing, right? And Facebook's away up at 20,500 likes. It's got 30,000 odd followers, but I don't know why people choose to follow a page and not just like it. It's whatever. Oh, congratulations from Brazil. Thanks, Wellington. Yes, we've got over 30,000 followers now. There's a there's a charity in our area that we've done work for. I'm not going to say which one, but you can. The people who followed us for a while can join up the dots, and they've got as far as we can find, they've got the biggest Facebook following in Perth because they're a charity and everybody, you know, we even follow them. And it's been a goal of mine just to be the Perth powerhouse, you know. I mean, on YouTube we trump them because there's no other YouTubers in the Perth area. Dundee's different. So Stephen did it, and he knows how important that is to me. I'm like, oh, we're getting closer and closer to the 33,500, and so when I've gone away, and he did a nice little post because he wants to do a wee competition to get us over 30,000 or at least close to that record by the time I come back. I was like, oh man, like, good for you, lad. He says that's his. I'm guessing he's making it as my welcome home present. So I'm going to pretend I don't know about this. So this is long enough into the stream. I don't think he'll watch this stream. He'd be bored of chatting to me anyway. But if you haven't already liked us on Facebook, go and like us on Facebook and help Stephen get to his goal to help me get to my goal. But then I'll pretend I didn't know about it, so he'll be like, high five. Olara from Cancun, happy days. Give a thumbs up, people. Now we're up to 17 likes with 36 on. We need no more likey-likies. Just ask any questions. I've already said all my amazing news about Just one of those awesome days. You know when you just have one of those days where you're just like, oh man, today was one of those good days, one of those awesome days. Everything just went to plan. The wee lassie's face lit up so much. It just made it worth it. It's absolutely worth it. I managed to meet my sister when we were out here as well. She was out here with my stepmum, and they managed to meet up with us for a couple of hours, which was fantastic. Because I don't, you know, as life's go on, we're all older now. It's hard to arrange time for people who've got busy working lives and whatnot. So it was great to see them, hang out with them for a couple of hours. So are you using the pool? I've actually not been in the pool yet. It's in the background. It's dark. It's not that big, but it'll do the job. It's for the girls, really. Yeah, I'll take a wee dip in there, maybe over the weekend, because, like I say, we're going to stay away from the parks. I'm actually quite fancying going to the cinema, although I really want to go and see Venom, but I kind of promised Coach Stephen I'd go with him. Well, I didn't actually promise him, it was just kind of an unwritten, unsaid promise. He might get upset if I go without him, maybe, unless he's already gone without me, I don't know. But either that, or maybe go and see Jurassic Park, because I'm sure that's it. Love awesome days, you all deserve it. Oh, thanks, Dale. Yeah, today was one of those days that when you imagine going away on holiday, you've got visions of what it'd be like, and I had visions of my wee daughter's face lighting up, and it's exactly how I imagined it. I think I made it happen because of the laws of attraction, you know. So the fact it worked out that way, I was like, yep, this is exactly why I flew all those miles and worked all this time and saved up all the pennies. Was wondering if you were going to see Venom. Think of you when I see the ads. The thing is about Venom, Alison, the fact it's Tom Hardy playing is fantastic. The story of Venom's one of my favourite characters, but Sony, I'm saying but, I think the movie's going to be great anyway. Sony bought the rights to use Venom, because Venom is technically, should always be paired up with Spider-Man, but this movie is not going to be paired up with Spider-Man because Sony own the rights to him, not Marvel at the moment, believe it or not. So it's going to be a kind of different, it's going to be in the Sony cinematic universe, which is different, and much like the X-Men movies aren't canon. The X-Men movies are in the Sony universe, so the stories are almost right. Like, if you've ever followed the X-Men movies, there is Tom Hardy is hot. Tom Hardy is hot, Dale. He's my man crush. If you follow the X-Men movies, basically Wolverine has a friendship with Rogue, but in the canon, in the comics, Wolverine's friendship is more towards Jubilee, which is another character who they barely had in the movies. So I'm going to have to angle myself a bit more under this light because it's slowly getting darker and darker. Can you still see my pus? So what if I tuck myself in a wee bit? Hold on. What about X-Men? So yeah, I mean, so X-Men's done by Sony. Now, if X-Men had been owned by, or the rights to do it had been owned by Marvel, it'd be a lot different. That's why Deadpool takes the piss in his movie when there's only Colossus and two others. And there's a scene in Deadpool when he goes to the X-Mansion. He's like, it's a mansion, you'd expect to see other X-Men, can't you guys afford them? And it's because they don't have the rights to use them, some of the other characters, because Sony still own them. But anyway, back to Venom. I still think it's going to be a complete awesome movie. So I'm going to adjust myself because I'm dark. I mean, how's that? Wait, there we are. Bit lighter, just. If you didn't see Venom, I'd die of shock. No, Angela, it's not about not seeing him. I'm definitely going to see him. It's just I was planning to do it with Stephen, and we're going to do one of our movie reviews. And if I go without him, he might fall out with me. Or maybe if I don't tell him, and that's what I'll do. I tell you what, right? If I go and see Venom, I'll tell you guys I've seen it, but I won't tell him. And then I'll go with him, and we'll do a movie review, and see if I can bluff it. I'll just be like, when we're reviewing it, I'll be like, oh, well, you know, and I'll be able to say things and pretend I've seen it for the first time. I'll put my bluff mode on. Now you look like a raccoon, need some under... A raccoon? Is that any better? I will keep it a secret. What a team. Only up to 18 likes and 39 on. Not good in the hood. Pretend, Drab, pretend. The other movie I quite fancy seeing is the Jurassic Fallen Kingdom. You know what you love about the Jurassic Park movies is that it's just like the laws of chaos, right? Dictate that if you've got a tidy space, it can only get messy, and that's chaos. Chaos will, something will happen, it'll make it messy. And whenever I watch these Jurassic movies, I always think of the laws of chaos, because you get this perfect park that's, you know, the dinosaurs and the attractions are there, and everyone's like having a good time and cheers and smiles and laughter, and you're like, where's it gonna go wrong? And there's always something, like in was it the Lost, whatever the one, Lost World? No, what's the most recent one? Well, forget Jurassic World, whatever it is. It's that, what's it called again? Indominus Rex that can go invisible. And because it goes invisible, they go into the cage, and then that silly idiot opens the main door. Like, oh man, what an idiot. You would think there would be some sort of special lock that would mean you couldn't open the main door like that, but anyway, what a twang. Opens the door, and then suddenly all hell breaks loose and chaos just comes down. So that's what I love about these movies, when it all starts off nice and pristine. And in the very first Jurassic movie, it was that Ned Flanders, no, what was his name? Ned, the fat guy that was trying to steal the embryos. So the park was perfect, the tour was going great until he buggered it all up. So yeah, Jurassic Park, I think we're going to see that. Training wise, going to do a bit of training tomorrow. Got my TRX with me, so I'm going to keep that going. Ned Newman, have a grand evening, enjoy the sun and fun of Florida. Thanks, Lex. I will. Yeah, so got quite a lot of things to do. Been really looking forward to going back to Universal actually. There was loads of people giving loads of tips, and they were talking about like Bubba Gump, and the minute you go into Universal, there's Bubba Gump on the left. I was like, oh man. Thing is though, it's like you guys call it shrimp, right? But we would just call them prawns. Wasn't he Newman in Seinfeld? Yes, he was. That's the same guy, Frank. Yeah. Yeah, you guys call shrimp. I think we just call them prawns. But like, I love prawns. I absolutely love them, and yet I'm still cautious about shrimp, even though I know it's just prawns. I'm like, well, one of those things. Trying to think what else has been happening. So like I say, Stephen's got his competition he's running on Facebook if you want to help him out. Loved Universal so much more than Disney, but my kids were older. I hope you stop by a Taco Bell before you leave the US. I love Taco Bell, say that. It was Stephen that's got a problem with it, just because he thinks it's messy. I quite like a Taco Bell. I actually haven't passed one yet though. Maybe I need to go looking for one. There must be one everywhere. There's McDonald's everywhere. I was like, wow. Those ones, the McDonald's get around, don't they? Taco Bell and the sweet tomatoes, or whatever it's called. I'm going to see that. I fancy the Arby's. I was saying that on the other stream. Did you ride the Hulk at Universal? Morning Gary, or evening Gary, whatever we are. No, we're going back to Universal maybe Tuesday, and we're going to do the Hulk ride then. My wife went on this one, what was it called? It had a big massive drop in it, so and she seemed to enjoy it anyway. But what we're going to do when we go back to Universal is we're going to go all the way up to the Harry Potter area again, because we went up to the Harry Potter the other day, but it was mostly to have a look around, and then I had to buy a gift for Holly, who's looking after Nala at the moment, and she's Harry Potter daft, so I thought I'll go and get her something nice in there. So we went up, had a look around, and my wife was like, well, we'll get some for Holly and then we'll scarp her again, because she's not that much of a Harry Potter fan. So I was looking at the map, and I realised if you go back up to Harry Potter, you can get the Hogwarts Express into the next park, which is Island Adventure, what it was called. And when you come in there, they've got the Jurassic Park world and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it'll be quite good. And then when we're there, we'll then work our way back down to the Hulk ride in Iowa, 1 hour behind you in Florida. Hey, so I'm still in the future from you, Gary, then, right? So yeah, that's the plans at Universal. And what else? There was something else we're going to do. There's the whole Marvel area in Universal as well, which I quite fancy checking out, which will be good. Yes, sir, Gary. Yep. Yeah, it's definitely getting dark here now. Definitely getting dark. And in Disney, there's a whole string of things. I mean, we were today. There was a whole bunch of princesses we then saw. What was it? There was Aladdin and what's her face, Jasmine. They were there, but we kept getting the timings wrong for that. So my daughter was wanting to go and see them. The other one we're going to see is Rapunzel and I forget the other one's name, but more princesses to queue up and get a hug with. It's interesting because I mean, obviously she's not going to watch this, but she thinks they're real, right? So like when she goes home and watches the movie, she must be like, wow, these are like, I've met these people. The fake snow in Harry Potter helped me feel cooler for a little bit. Well, it's interesting that, like, I don't know what you folks do over here if your air conditioning broke. I reckon everybody would be cranky. See, if you wanted to really cause chaos, right, in a country like this, you would just do something that would short out everybody's aircon and they would go nuts. Can you imagine that? No aircon. It'd be like, everyone must die. Because you'd get so hot, you'd have to hide in the shade and all sorts. Life would suck without aircon. Oh, absolutely, Alison. Like, Chris, even when you jump back in the car, you have to turn the aircon for about 5 minutes before you can then go anywhere. You're like, blooming heck. But yeah, life would suck without aircon. We would all die at the hands of some raging Hulk. Not me, I don't have AC, I'm in training for the end times. Good for you, Frank. Air conditioning is non-negotiable in the south. Is it even worse in the south, Angela? God. I mean, this is in October as well. I mean, like, I don't even know what this place is like in the summer. They are real rab. Oh, the princesses. Of course they are. I'm sorry, you know. Yeah, I wouldn't like it be anywhere without aircon. Because that's one thing. I don't mind being cold. I just don't like being too hot. Brandon Martin, hello from like 5 miles away. And yes, Florida's unbearable. Well, hello to you, Brandon. The end. I'm still laughing at Frank's comment. The end times. Scotland is 5 hours ahead of the east coast of USA. But I'm not in Scotland, am I? Well, the clock's change in Scotland soon. Does that mean it's going to change? Is it not 6 or? No, it's 5-1 in Scotland at the moment. So, 5-1 in Scotland. 5-8 here. Who's your favourite Disney princess? Well, Sarah, it's interesting you say that. My favourite used to be Jasmine. I used to think she was so hot. Like, if I was a cartoon man, I'd be like, Jasmine, how you doing? You want to come for a ride on my magic carpet? But these days, I don't know, I like a bit of Ariel. But I don't have to worry about humidity in the desert, so yeah, no AC in the south and Midwest is pure misery. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, I don't even know what I'd do without air conditioning, to be honest. Not here anyway. In Scotland, don't need to worry about it. Have you seen any fireflies while you're there? The ones that live in Florida are called bugs. Not that I'm aware of, Chris. My daughter got stung by, I think it was a wasp today. It was a bloody shame. And then there was these sort of fly things that are fair size. They come down and kind of land on you, and they're not quite a mosquito, but not 100 miles away from it either. When the baby gets bigger, you need to take it on the. Sorry, I need to look at that, Paul. When the baby gets bigger, you need to take the family on a Disney cruise. The girls would love it. Do you know, if I went on a Disney cruise, my mission would be to try and get through the entire cruise without using the phrase, "You sunk my battleship." Fireflies don't stink, they're pure magic. Oh, stink is stingy. Love bugs. Welcome to the love bug. It was not Herbie, it was called the love bug. Do you all have any Halloween plans when you get back to Scotland? I'll probably do something for my daughter's channel for Halloween. So for those of you that don't know, I've got my daughter's channel, which is Boss Mila, M-I-E-L-A, just at Boss Mila, and that's hers. And we'll probably do a Halloween special. Scotland don't really go to town on Halloween, not the way that you guys over here do it. And certainly when I was in Canada, Halloween was awesome. Like the streets were decked out with pumpkins and all sorts. Scotland, we do have Halloween parties, or the local clubs will maybe do something, but the streets don't really get decorated, unfortunately. Dress up like Goofy and then punch yourself. Alison, that is an awesome idea. I saw Goofy again today and I still cannot. I don't know why he bothers me. That's the weird thing. Like, Pluto doesn't bother me. Donald Duck, which I thought would bother me, doesn't. And every time I see Goofy, I'm just like, I just hate that guy. God, you know, if I was ever in a church, I'd still go for him. I'd be like, you annoy the shit out of me. When I went to Disney several years ago, I snuck into Epcot, I'm assuming. I must admit, the cold killed me. Poor Goofy. And, well, to be honest, Frank, it is poor Goofy. He's never done anything to me. There's just something about him. Ever since, I can't remember when it first started. I think it was in my teens. Why does Donald wear a shirt but not pants? Because he's your, you know, if you ever show Donald Duck with a beer in his hand, it would then make sense. He's walking about with a beer, shirt on, no pants, and then it would all make sense. But they keep leaving out the beer. Now that's a video we need to see. Coach Rab taking down Goofy. Angela, you just need to picture the end scene of Ace Ventura, and you know, when he's in the stadium, he's got Dan Marino back, he saved the day, and he goes to get the prize bird, which is worth 25 grand, and just as he goes to get the bird, the mascot flicks it away, and he's like, "You just cost me 25 grand, Polly," and then the mascot's like, I don't know, blow me or sue me or whatever he says, and he's just like, and he sort of jabs left and then comes straight across with a, with a right cross and then dump tackles him. You're like, that's what I would do with Cookie. You'd be like, crack, crack, dump tackle and take this, you fluffy dog or whatever you are. I'll have all the animal activists at me for that, but what the hell, it'd be worth it. What about the tackle scene from Blades of Glory? Exactly like that. You mean when they slide forwards and... No, what tackles can you think about? Blades of Glory, I love that movie. Blades of Glory, we used to take the piss because we used to say that was like Stephen and I. Stephen was like the blonde, airy-fairy guy that took care of his appearance, and I was Will Ferrell. It just roughed it all up. I don't think he was always that bad. Who's this? Who wasn't all that bad? I don't think he was always that bad though. Early versions he wasn't so dumb. Frank, I think it was because I saw him in some sort of cartoon where there was other characters that were pretty cool, and every time he was in it, he was just annoying me. I must admit it is mime artists that scared and annoying me. Yeah. I think it is with mime artists though, is that so many people can actually do a good job of taking the piss out of mime art. You know, when they're like, yeah, I can't do it, but some people can be really, really good at taking the piss out of them. And for me, with the mime artists, it's their face. It's like white and the pout look constantly. It's this look of surprise permanently. Is that my mime artist? You still get mime artists doing the job. I mean, in this day and age, it must be pretty hard because of social media. You think about people that prank them, like walk up to them and just like film it and, I don't know, push through the invisible glass. What about clowns? They are scary. Now there is, what's the name of that when you're afraid of clowns? There's a proper phobia and I forget what it's called, but it's pretty serious. But I don't know, do you think that was because of it that it got worse? Or was it a fear of clowns before that? I mean, it can't have helped. I mean, for people that are scared of clowns to watch or read Stephen King's It must have been like, holy shit. Yeah, not good. Not good. It's actually funny because out in the street there, right, your streets and your drainage way is different, because in Scotland we just have curbs and flat drains, but you've got those kind of lipped over ones. And every time I park up, I'm always checking underneath it, because you know that scene in It where he's like, everything floats down here. Ah, oh, Chris, Killer Clowns from Outer Space is a fantastic movie. I love that. It's funny more than anything else. I've not seen it in a long time, but I remember they wrapped them up in candy floss and sucked their blood, and I remember there's this one scene where one of them springs away and comes back with big boxing gloves and knocks the guy's head off. It's can you turn the lighting up a bit, Rab? No, that's the lighting at full out here. I'm afraid I'm sitting outside and I'm dark, so I'm hiding. I'm actually only going to be on for another half a beer. I just thought I'd come on and tell you about my awesome day, keep you all updated since you're obviously missing my pus. I actually need to shave this pus, it's getting a wee bit bushy. I need Doc Ock arms so I can type and cook at the same time. Or, did you get Mr. Gadget over here? Years ago we used to get, what was it called? Calorophobia, fear of clowns? Calorophobia? Alright, clownophobia. Did you get Mr. Inspector Gadget over here? He must have done, because I think there's a movie, you know, the whole thing, Go Gadget arm, and it just extends like one of those slinky arms almost. Yes, Alison. Inspector Gadget, it was always funny because I think the girl in the cartoon was called Penny, and she actually did all the solving of everything. She was the true hero. And what was the dog called? Whatever the dog was called, there was Penny and the dog did all the solving, and Inspector Gadget got all the credit. Oh man, that was funny. That was good though. Hi Gilmar, I've not seen Almeida, I recognise the name, but don't about Gilmar. Hi Gilmar. Well, we're almost at the end of my beer, and then I'm going to go in and get a wee bite to eat. The movie was awful. Yeah, who was it who starred in the movie? The cartoons were always better. Cartoon was better than the movie, yeah, definitely. It's interesting, I just watched the trailer for Bumblebee, and I was so happy to find out that Michael Bay wasn't involved with this movie. Now, Michael Bay, when I saw the first Transformers, I used to love Transformers, right? I really did, the cartoon. But they did the cartoon movie as well, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. When they brought out the movies, they were cool because they were new and it was great to see them. but there was too much rolling about and you couldn't quite make out who was hitting who, and I didn't like the concept that they brought in, that they were just these shells that just mimicked it. It was not quite the way I always saw the Transformers, and they kind of just stuck behind Optimus Prime all the time, and he pissed me off. Like, for me, Optimus Prime, there was a reason they killed him off in the cartoon movie. He was just too righteous, you know. And they stuck behind him in that movie. In fact, in the last one, what was it called? The Last Night or whatever it was, Optimus Prime turns bad, and then when he turns good again, he's just allowed back in. I'm like, piss on that, you traitor. Stick with Bumblebee all the way. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. So Bumblebee's new movie is no longer with Michael Bay, so they're going back to the kind of original feel to Transformers. They want the blocky feel, they want the turning into cars rather than little robotic. Because Michael Bay wanted everything militarised. See you later, Roger. Michael Bay wanted everything militarised, and I don't know if I like that about it. I like the way that Transformers was previously. There was vehicles, or there was aircraft, or they turn into guns, and that was fine with me. So I think Bumblebee, the movie coming out, is going back to its roots, which will be good. So looking forward to that. So there's that. There's Fallen Kingdom and Venom, but Bumblebee's not out till Christmas time, so got a bit of time for that. Right, guys, I'm going to finish this off. Oh, glad that was finished. Bedtime, need to sleep before Tenerife. Simon, just so you know, I've been to 11 Tenerife. One better, son, one better. Right, guys, have a great time. Make sure you like this video. And if you haven't done so already, go across and like Facebook for Stephen and do his competition, because he's trying to do it for his buddy me, Rab. But pretend I didn't tell you to do that. So it was all him, right? And have a great day tomorrow. Thank you, Paul. Brenda, great chat. Thank you, Brenda. It was literally that, just a chat, right? A bit of banter. Gary, great hanging with you tonight. Of course, it's on your time zone. I mean, I can do a few more of these if there's a demand for it. If you want more of these, and me talking rubbish on myself, because I don't know if it's as funny when I don't have Stephen here to banter with, but if you want me to chat more, comment on this video, say more of these, please, Rab, and I'll do more of them while I'm away, because I've still got another 10 days of my holiday, so I can always do these. Oh, Rush Utley, didn't see you before, but bye-bye. Yep, Brenda, more. Yep, so comment on the video rather than in the video. And thanks for checking in with us. We miss you too, Sarah. Hope everybody's sticking to the damn plan. Absolutely more of these. Happy days, Jason. What a gent. This was awesome. We might do maybe just a sort of chilled out Q&A then, if you fancy that. Do more. Have a nice weekend. Yes. So remember, comment on the bottom of the video once this is all done. Not in the chat, and then it'll give me a bit of support. If I can get 30, because there's 30 people on, if there's 30 more comments when I wake up tomorrow, not in the chat but in the comments, saying do more, then I'll do another one and we'll go from there. Other than that, folks, I hope you have a lovely weekend, and yeah, I will speak to you soon.